Greetings. We are going to change out a derailleur on a 72 Schwinn Super Sport because we basically have to. Yeah, this thing, like I said in previous videos, it's really bad. It's sloppy this way, back and forth, and it's twisted, and it's kind of sloppy there. It's got some slop there. It's bent in a little bit, so when you shift from third to fourth and then eventually into fifth, it jams in between the frame and fifth, and that's really bad for the chain and bad for your psyche. All right, so we're gonna switch this out. Shouldn't take too long. So here we go. Oh, and I got my choice. I looked in all my parts, and my first choice is this Sprint, made in France. I don't think it's Schwinn approved. It's got some wear. It's got some pretty bad wear on the backside where somebody was running it into that, but that doesn't really matter too much. The action is good and there's less slop, and it's got these metal wheels which have ball bearings in them, which are more superior than these little plastic wheels. Then there's the second choice. That's the second choice. It's kind of rough. Looks a little twisted too. And then the third choice, which I really don't want to use, is a Shimano Lark. I know this will work great, but I really don't want to use this part on a vintage Schwinn. So here we go. Let's take the old one off and get happy. First thing to do is pop off this little, we need this cap. We need this little Schwinn cap because it's nice to have. It has an S on it. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna undo that. Take a 9mm wrench. Like I said, take a 9mm. Undo this bolt. Okay, let's get you in here. Whoop. Yeah, you guys can see what's going on. All right, so let's peel that off. Take this 9mm pinch bolt to the cable, loosen that up a little, and we'll pry open. Like I was saying, you got to pry this part open so the cable will come out, and easy breezy. And there's the cable. It's been crunched there, so if we're slick, we might trim a little bit of this housing away so we can crunch in a new spot, but we'll see how that works out, how we feel about that. Okay, so we're going to take this out. Just let it hang there for a minute. So we'll take a 9mm and take this bolt out because we don't want to break the chain. The other one coming in is the same dimension, and I don't feel like every time you take the chain apart, you weaken that link. So better to take this off. 9mm, nice and easy. And this derailleur is now definitely just for parts. This one isn't too bad. I mean, the parts are good. It has the plastic wheels, but there is ball bearings inside of there, and you can take this apart and clean it and clean the bearings on this particular one. So for now, we'll just kind of put this in just to save it because I don't want to lose anything. We'll just put it in back together a little bit, and that'll hold that gear in there. It's not right for using, it's just so I can save it in the parts bin. Okay, so now that derailleur is basically loose except this 9mm up here. And we'll take the back wheel off, and to do that we have to remove the brake shoe because we do not have quick release. Okay. Still working on that quick release. I mean, quick release for the brakes. We have quick release for the wheel. That's not an issue. Okay, so the wheel is off. And the derailleur just falls right off. There's a little keeper on there. It slides, this part slides in the part of this frame here. And we'll put the new one on. Well, then, new to me. And we'll take this off and put it on the other one. And hopefully this one will be better. I'm hoping it will be. There just seemed to be a lot of slop in this one when it was working. There was a lot going on there, back and forth in these pivots, and it really wasn't doing very well. All right, so let's put this on. There's the little retainer that goes in. Sometimes you can weasel that in without taking the wheel off, but it's difficult. It's better just to take the wheel off. Up we go. Okay. And 9mm. It's usually 9s and 8s on derailleurs and stuff like that. So we got that in. That's kind of where we want it. Let's give that a snug. Okay. This action feels better. It's got less twisty things going on, and I'm really hoping it works good. All right, so the spring is on there. That's good. We won't put the cable in yet. Let's put the back wheel on. I guess we could actually, you know what, let's put the chain in the derailleur first. No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right. All right, so we're going to take this bolt off and this one out to get the chain in, because I don't feel like breaking the chain again. Every time you undo a link, it weakens it, and I don't feel like doing that. So we're going to take this wheel out without falling, and it should go up and around. Right, like that. Yep, okay. So see how that goes like that? So we're putting the wheel back in. First of all, let's make sure this is good though. It feels pretty good. Oh yeah, these are good bearings. This is a good wheel. Much superior than the plastic ones. There's nothing to break and catch, it's steel. Probably came on a higher end Varsity probably. Not really sure about that. It doesn't say Schwinn approved on it, but it is Hooray, and it does say Sprint. They made a lot of different bike parts. Hooray made lots of stuff, shifters. They made lots of stuff. There we go. Okay, put this lock back on. Probably should put some Loctite on that, but we're okay. We're gonna set you down good. It's good to hold this back one. Hold that back one where you want it. That way you don't over tighten the bearing. And then tighten this one. And then we'll check. Is that still spin free? Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. And a final tighten. Make sure it's really in there. We don't want our derailleur falling apart. Okay, good. Alright, so now we're ready for wheel action. We'll just undo this chain all the way for a second. Give us some room. we go. Aren't you glad we shortened the axle and put the 5-speed on? Oh yeah. Look at that, huh? Okay, well, it's in there for now. We'll do a final adjustment on the wheel once we get it all together. Okay, so we got that in there. And this one has a smaller... See how that one has a big spring and lots of adjustment there? Unfortunately, this one is really small. So we're gonna have to pull this pretty tight. And I think we're just gonna leave this alone. We'll just recrimp it right there. Oh, the end is frayed. Yeah, the end is a little frayed here. Oh dear. Glad that wasn't in the house. Okay, so we're gonna go through here. And we already pried this part open. We already pried this little keeper open a little bit. Now remember, this should just go in here nice and easy, nice and breezy. No struggling. It should just go in nice and easy, just like that. If you're pulling on it and messing with it and crunching it, then something's